Okay, here we go. Here we go. So Mixu with Protectorate, and I believe Catz was Grell. Very cool. Ah, yes, I remember this hero very well. Vinthra. I don't believe that was its name before. I think it was just called Grell Hero. Anyways, Vinethra or Vinthra or whatever. It can like burrow home and eat stuff to heal itself. At least it used to be able to. Then we have Yerl. All right, Yerl. Let's go. All right, so they're both going for this tower. By the way, the towers, like, they give you like a little bit of stuff to work towards like ability raising, basically. But yeah, these heroes are not. And by the way, that countdown timer, that's for where Flux is going to come down later. But again, the heroes are pretty important for Legion. For the other races, there's something to do, something to use. But it doesn't feel like the game revolves around them as much as it does in a lot of other hero RTSs. In general, I don't like heroes, but yeah. Not as bad in this game as some others. All right, Stun Grenade doing a pretty good job there, it looks like. Starting to get some Flux in. The Flux, I guess, is a little bit more like gas. The Hexite, a little bit more like minerals. Dread Mercenary Outpost. Okay. We got some Stingers coming up. Similar to like Zerglings.
One star system at a time. Open team.
Come on, here, make a decision.
We do this right, and we all go home. Relocate. Neutralize any threat.
All right, so it looks like Mixu's going to put some pressure on here. Ah, you saw the jump there. So the Commando's getting their little jump on, trying to micro away. Looks like he is going to be way overwhelmed here, though. Which looks about right. I mean, if you're going to play like a swarmy race like this, it's kind of like Zerg. Doesn't seem like you should be able to attack with just a couple Marines or whatever you want to liken them to. So he does have some Dread Raiders out, so definitely some Harassment going to be coming up. Really does seem like if you go for the Dread Pirates, I believe they're called the Dread Pirates still, you're basically committing yourself to doing lots of harassment. The Cha crew, the last time I was casting it, felt like the Cha crew were one of the stronger ones. They definitely have some really strong guys that come out, especially when you grow them big with the evolution spell or whatever it's called that makes them big. I don't know if that Grell still has that or not.
Yo, want something?
Ooh, Bastions. These are one of my favorite units. They actually changed how that looks a lot. Oh, that's kind of weird. It's got like person legs. It was like a full robot, like little mech suit before. Now it looks like a it looks like a guy half wearing like he's got like a fire bat backpack and he's got the noodle arms from the car dealership or something. But yeah, I've actually really liked this unit in the last iteration that I saw. Oh, and we have different colors for these guys now, so that's good. Okay, that's actually an important thing to point out because I was mentioning that before. So we have green and red now as opposed to both players being red, which I think is very important. If it was going to be all red all night, that was going to really tilt me. So good to see that. Good to see that that was our error. Yeah, the Dread Raiders don't seem like they're getting too much done here. All right, actually doing a pretty good job here with his AoE. Trying to take over that control tower once again. I'm interested to see what the Bastions are actually going to do because they, like, oh, you see that little picture that they have for the Bastions in that corner, that, like, bottom leftish corner? That's actually what the Bastions looked like before. So it looks like they haven't changed that aspect, but yeah, I thought they were pretty darn cool looking before. Not as sure of what they look like right now, but it looks like they're actually kind of, they are reminding me a lot of fire bats right now with like vacuum arms. It's like the type of vacuum that you clean your car with. right, so it seems like he has some pretty good AoE there with the vacuum arm bastions.
Boom, baby.
Oh, okay, so he's actually using the thing that makes him bigger now. And this was super common last time I was casting. The Rageborns getting boosted up, that like ups their health and ups their damage and stuff like that. Really, really strong. And the Rageborns, if I recall correctly, when they are using their ability and hitting things, they are refilling their own health a little bit, and that's why that's a really strong ability on them. And they pair really well with the Grell.
What is it?
Nourishment. Yeah, 30% life stealing. There you go. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. So that hasn't changed. So it looks like he does a little bit of a drop here. Looks like a drop ship of some sort. Bringing him out to try to snipe some of this down. Looks like he's taking out some of these vine workers or whatever we would call those.
Yo.
The Dread Raider over here maybe working on trying to get some of these workers as well.
Move.
Rageborn's coming in, though. He's definitely going to have to back up against those. And look at that. The Hammerhead picks him right up. The Hammerhead named after the shark. All right. My favorite shark when I was a kid. The Hammerhead. If the Hammerhead wasn't your favorite shark, there was really only like two. Hammerhead and Great White, right? Hammerheads were so sick, though. So I appreciate the name.
Not a bullet shy.
Boom, baby.
Okay, so that was like a unit drop-off. That was one of the abilities for Protector before, so it looks like that's still there. All right, comes forward. I think he's using a lot of move commands here because, like, it really feels like we're just not seeing the Bastions fire that much. It's going to back up a little bit. I don't know how tanky those Bastions are, honestly.
Hurry up.
Yo.
Ever perseverant.
Uh-oh, game paused. Drag scroll broke. StarCraft 2 players with their drag scroll. Seems like a reasonable game so far. Right? Like, looking at this game compared... The other two felt like they were kind of rushing each other. This feels like there's a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of tug of war. We've had a little bit of harassment on the sides with those Dread Raiders. It seems like Mixu is really mixing it up and trying to drop with his hammerheads and snipe some stuff, whereas Catz is building just a stronger overall army with those, like, evolved rage forms. Or Rageborns, rather.
Bust them up.
So... Yeah, this is... I like to see this in an RTS. Like... I guess we saw a little bit in Stormgate last time we casted, a little bit more harassment stuff. But this is, like, splitting armies off, going in multiple directions. That's what you want to see in an RTS, in my opinion, in this day and age. And if the game doesn't have that, then it just becomes, like, Deathball versus Deathball, and that's not something you want. And we definitely see Mixu is not doing anything Deathball-y at all. Like, he's running around with these Dread Raiders, yeah, putting little shields on to try to get some harassment. He's taking towers. He has small groups of units everywhere. I would say, obviously, Mixu is a bit just stronger RTS player overall than Catz. A lot younger and probably hungrier for the skill. But yeah, you can see the multitasking of him doing a pretty good job. But Catz maintains control basically of the center, and he's taking damage on the fringes, but that's it. Overall, the army size here of Mixu is getting really big. He actually has a lot of supply, as you can see. Comparatively, if you look at the bottom left. Well, I guess it just evened out a little bit there, but... It seems like the overall, like, the units that Catz has are a bit stronger. Kind of like that he has this hammerhead with it. I'll, like, see if we end up seeing some fancy micro there to pick up units that are under attack and whatnot.
We are moving in.
So you can see those Rageborns doing well. He's coming up. Now, that's not... Okay, Catz is split up a little bit. Like, he has this group attacking in, and this group kind of harassing the side. Not sure what that is. A man-eater. Okay. And he actually basically recalls those home. And look at this. Yeah, he kills a base and gets up here, snipes a building. He's going to back up, I think, as everything comes home. It feels like he's being aggroed into that. Oh, okay. Throws down a Tree of Life. That's one of their higher level abilities. I believe that does massive healing for them. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm surprised he's fighting here. It feels like his army's kind of small. But Mixu is respecting that Tree of Life.
Want something? Right away.
Beyond the horizon.
Proceeding to flux deposit.
Alpha team, on me.
Okay, so Tree of Life gets picked off. I didn't expect that to last too long, but yeah, he is basically sending over a lot of stingers to kill the base on the side. If he's not losing too much over here while he does that, that has to be like a very good move, right? Picks off that expansion. Okay, gonna lose a few units. That's fine. He's being aggroed a lot though. Little bit sloppy Catz here on that. He does have a lot of supply. Gonna lose a few of his units, but does back up. Looks like he's on 4 base right now, and he's eliminated one of these bases, so only 2 base for Mixu. So Mixu in some trouble.
We are moving in. Over. Searching.
Yeah, I can't really
Systems
read that. By the way, the YouTube channel for the non-StarCraft games, StarCraft 1 games I cast is Artosis Cast 2 that Mapu and I run. So you can check that out.
We do this right. We all go home. As near's open team.
Okay, he's trying to keep this together. What is that? That's... what?
We are moving in.
What is that giant thing? A Titan? Oh, okay, yeah.
We all go home.
Yeah, the Titans, I actually used to make lots of those. So those definitely look a lot different from what they used to look like as well. But those, like, the one thing I really remember about those were they cost a lot more flux. So on games where I had tons of flux, I ended up making a lot of those. They were kind of like Archon levels of gas needed. I'm not sure what that flash was. I wonder if those shields are timed or just permanent until they take a certain amount of damage. All right, so Catz right now hitting 2 different attacks. They're kind of in similar areas, so he actually could join his whole army up together once again. Going after this Harvester. Looks like he will get it, but he had to dive pretty far in there. Might take a little bit of extra damage getting out. Very, very range-oriented here, the Protectorate, as similar to Terran in that regard. He's actually picking off a lot of valuable units. What is this? Holy crap. Okay, so he's actually sending that off to go into the main base and maybe pick off a building? Oh, that was like a speed boost, I guess. But he does chase that down. In the meantime, the rest of the army coming up. Yeah, it seems like he's clearing that pretty quickly. Catz diving in hard now. Okay, looks like he saved some of it. Not sure what Catz is trying to get done here. Seems like he's being a little bit too wasteful. He's got like a ton of bases though. And he's keeping his supply really high despite losing. Like he just lost most of his army. But his supply hasn't really moved. Like he's still basically even supply with Mixu, so. I guess he's macroing really fast here with that big economy. All right, we got some new units in there as well. Those crab-looking things. So we have some Striders in here now also. Yeah, we got the Man-Eaters. What is this thing that looks like the Helix fossil or something? GG from Mixu. Catz gonna take it down. Another Grell victory. Very different Grell play there from what we saw from a laser. Okay. Well, if that's what games look like, this is a lot better than a lot of other RTSs that have been made recently, I would say. Like that game looked interesting. There was a lot happening. A lot of harassment around the map. I wasn't sure of every single thing that was going on, but it felt a little bit back and forth. A lot of different units being utilized. Felt like they both had strengths and weaknesses that they were playing to. Well, for my personal taste, like, I like it more than Stormgate. Currently, like, just watching both, casting both, this one is more interesting to me. That game was probably performative. I bet real matches are just deathball versus deathball. Dude, these are literally the best players in the world going at it. Just, oh my God.